Hey guys, it's Red Knobster, and today I'm in a mystical land. Now there's a mountain, and then there's a fountain of youth in this side. Now, there's a bunch of chickens here, but they're not just ordinary chickens. They are actually fairies. So if we come over here, and we choose between two names, Navi and Deku, we'll choose Deku. We'll right-click the chicken, and then he'll make a noise, start sparkling and stuff, has a name, and then he just flutters next to our head, just like fairies do. So we'll come over here so you can see it a little bit better. Yes, just like this. And he has a couple abilities. One, he gives you regeneration indefinitely as he follows you around until he dies. And two, they just randomly say listen, just like in Zelda Ocarina of Time. And you ignore it, but they'll keep saying it indefinitely, no matter what, just random times. So I'm not very good with command blocks, but this is what I got so far. So I'm going to slit this guy's throat, and I'll show you the other name. Pretty much the same thing, but sparkles in a different color, a little bit of a blue maybe, and it gives you strength. So this idea pretty much coincides with like replacement of mods basically. Like just use commands. I was thinking about using this in like a survival single player game kind of thing, maybe like a let's play, and just basically have the command blocks just running all times and then replace potions with chickens basically, or fairies per se. So he'll just follow you around indefinitely. He's not gonna die of fall damage or something, he's a chicken, so especially if he lands in water, yep. So it's pretty sweet. You do get the strength effect, but if you kill him wherever he is, boom, you don't get the strength effect anymore, it's just not there. So it's pretty interesting. I'll come over here, show the commands. It's kind of a lot. Like I said though, I'm not very good with commands, so this took me a good couple hours to figure out, and I'm still kind of confused, but I'll try to explain it to the best of my knowledge. I'm gonna turn down the sounds of blocks real quick, just so you don't hear that sound too much. Okay, so first of all, there are basically two clocks doing the exact same thing, just for different chickens. First of all, this is Navi, I think? Yes? Okay, so these redstone blocks are being set and destroyed basically instantly by this command, and that's creating a very fast clock. It's very common nowadays, yeah. And it's basically activating itself, and these three commands around it. Now, this command is teleporting a chicken named Navi to the username of you, so me. It's teleporting using the new @e tag, so it's teleporting Navi to me very fast, like pretty much instantly. So he follows you basically. Now this one does the same thing, except it I apologize for the hard cut, you guys, my planet needed me. So we're gonna come over here, and this clock, like I said, is powering all four of these command blocks. So this teleport is teleporting an entity named Navi, one in a direction, one in the other direction, and then two up. That way it's never inside of you. If you didn't have that command, this command would basically just be teleporting him into your crotch. So unless you want to have a intercourse with a fairy, I would suggest putting this here. Now, it's also doing this command block, which is a test for command that's testing for an entity chicken named Navi in the radius of the entire map pretty much. That can be whatever number you want. And it's also sending out two comparator signals. Now this comparator signal is coming this way, and it's giving the effect of strength to for infinite amount of time pretty much, and it's hiding the particles as well. That way you don't see the red things floating around your own body when you get the effect of strength. Now it's also playing a sound, it's random.levelup, which basically is just that. Yep. It sounds a little bit different because it has a pitch of 1.5. I think it's pitch. I don't know. It's 1.5 here. And it's playing at the location of the chicken. Or at the location of you. So now this comparator signal also goes off in this direction, and it's a command block that's on right now, but it will turn off and then turn back on every time this command block gets a pulse. So once you get a chicken named Navi, this command block turns on, which basically deactivates this torch, and then it turns this off. Now, it doesn't do anything until the chicken dies pretty much. So once your chicken dies, this test 4 command no longer finds that chicken, and this torch turns back on, which clears the effect that you had. So you don't just have the strength effect even if the chicken dies. So now this hopper clock isn't connected to these commands or anything, it's just really close for compactness sake. So this hopper clock is basically 2 hoppers feeding into each other that are swapping a redstone block back and forth. Now it's activating 3 different comparators. The first comparator is a magic crit particle effect at the location of Navi, basically. That's what the little blue circles are around there. It's basically 3 times, so 3 particles, very small amount, I think, yes, at its exact location. It's very slow, it doesn't go by that fast, so it's pretty much there all the time. It took me a long time to figure this out, and to figure out how to get it to be on the chicken. I suck with commands, like I said, so a lot of Minecraft wiki involved with this. Now this one is basically the same thing, just with instant spell and Deku, which is the other chicken. Now instant spell is just like white sparkles instead of blue, so it's basically the same command, just for different chickens. Now this comparator right here, feeding off the hopper clock as well, is going into this dropper, which basically gives a 1 in 9 chance for this comparator to go off to get a dropper that has another 1 in 6 chance, and that basically creates a very randomized outcome of this command, which is a tell raw that basically just says listen with an exclamation point in blue color. And these commands are pretty much, I think, all visible without scrolling, so you could just pause the video if you need to see these, you know. I'll just go through them all real quick. Da-da-da. Yep. Don't remember if I did this one, maybe. Beautiful. And that's it. Now, over here is basically the same system. The redstone block is being set by this clock as well. It's doing this, but for the name of Deku instead of Navi. Same for this test 4 command, doing the same thing, but for Deku. And this as well is clearing the effect. So this command block isn't really needed. I guess you could just connect it to this one, but I just put it over here because it's simple. So same thing for Deku. And then this comparator for the test 4 command is also going into this, which is the same sound, the same pitch and everything. And this is the effect 10, which is regeneration instead of strength. So that's the only difference between this one and that one. I don't really know if I need to set a whole new thing up here or not, but yeah. Like I said, I set with commands. So. But that's pretty much it. That's the whole command block thing under my belt. I don't really know any other features you can give to it. I guess there's always more room for expansion with command blocks, so I think it'd be pretty cool to see what you guys can come up with. I think it'd be a pretty cool thing to play around with, like especially in like a single player let's play. You just be on your survival world, you find a chicken, you know. Name tags are pretty rare, so if you can name them the right names, I guess, you get to capture a fairy and just have strength the entire time. Be a pretty cool substitute for potions, I think. Just something sweet to mess around with, but that's all I really have for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, it really helps, and I'll see you in the next video.